Good evening and welcome. Thursday night SRL. What a sight to see. We're in the Hunter. We've got my guys, the Knights, taking on Ryan Wilmot's South Sydney Rabbitohs for our round 5 clash. Final clash of the week here as we roll into a busy round 6 next week. I'm joining the box with, commentary legend at this point. He's done almost every game the last couple of weeks. I've got AMAC with me in the box. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm good tonight. Getting a little bit tired. Gallivanting around the town. The amount of frequent flyer miles on the airplanes have been phenomenal, which is probably a good thing right now, Pretzel, that we say we are always welcoming new commentators into the commentator box. If anyone wants to become a part of the SRL commentary team, now is a good time to drop us a line.
Absolutely, and just to add to that as well, broadcasters as well. We are a little bit strapped for broadcasters, so if anyone out there wants to get involved, as AMAC said, drop us a line as I get ready to kick the football off, get us underway for our final clash of round 5. I guess AMAC, it's been a while. We had a bit of a week break with round 5. Newcastle coming off a relatively big win over the Broncos there last week, and South Sydney. I don't actually know what happened with South Sydney last week. Did you catch that game?
Yeah, I did. South Sydney, they came away with a close win as well. So both of these teams, they're currently sitting, Newcastle Knights, they're sitting 3rd, and Rabbitohs, they're sitting 5th. So whoever wins tonight cements themselves in the top 4.
Ooh, I like to hear that from a biased point of view, especially as we see Joshua Lowe here getting the football up over halfway. South Sydney contained pretty well. They've only just broken halfway, and they'll have to kick the ball from the halfway line. I do apologise in advance to the SRL community. I will do my very best to not be biased, but that is an absolute terrible kick. As the greatest prop of the SRL 2.0 era, Ayrton gets the ball. He manages to catch that one off of a rather dodgy kick. As we move through 30 metres out from the try line, Hodgson will work his way there. He does get wrapped up in a strong tackle, and that is a strong tackle there on Tero Maxwell. That's fantastic work from South Sydney. They're doing really well to push us back. Rousey Plush there, taking a bit of time out of dummy half. She's done some great work over the past, 5 or so weeks in at dummy half. As a bit of a draw and pass there. Cameron Hodgson with the ball again. Second run and a half for him. Second run in the play for him here, as Newcastle floundering a little bit in that set. Didn't make too many meters. They'll look to Ralmy. Ralmy, he'll get the ball on the ground there. Lowe will pick it up and return there. AMAC, both sides have had their first sets here. What are we seeing so far?
Well, what we're seeing so far is that tonight it looks like defense is going to be the name of the game. And in fact, we've seen that for a lot of games this round. That 1 week break, all coaches must have been out on the field practicing their defensive work up against the Bags, because it has been a very painful time for a lot of those attacking sides out there, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. I've gotten pretty heavily involved with the coaching staff over the last week here, and that's exactly the same thing I've noticed. We've had a lot of defensively won games, which is not usually the case for SRL. We usually have some pretty high-scoring games. I believe we had an all-time, and that is not a good kick. We're just going to breeze past that. I think we had an all-time tackle record broken again by Marcus Lee. I think he had 40-odd tackles in his game this week. So defense wins games, apparently.
Yeah, and not only is that an all-time record, that's even a record that breaks the SRL 1.0 record. So if we've got 40 tackles a game already this early in the season, before players have really started maxing out those stats, it's going to be a bit nuts in a couple of seasons' time.
Absolutely, as Jareem Hodgkinson tries to sneak down the left-hand side touchline, and he'll be brought down for last tackle. Newcastle not in a very good position here. They have to kick from about 35 metres out from their line. Ball goes right to Ryan Wilmot, someone you would not want to kick the ball to, but he is wrapped up in a good tackle there from Junior Kamialoha. As South Sydney now, they want to try and get the first points on the board and try and settle those nerves, especially after the close win they had last week and a bit of a long layoff between drinks here. But Ryan Wilmot again, second run of the set, and he makes some good meters here. 3 tackles gone. We're just over the 30-meter line, heading towards the blind side here, short side. Dion Coleman out to Mekhi Freeburn. He'll get us up over the 40-meter line. 4 tackles gone. We're in 40-20 territory here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the attempt here, and that's exactly what Dion Coleman does. That's a good kick there, but my Ava, she's been great so far this season, and she's right there again, ready for that kick.
Well, not just all season, but absolutely standing up in your game against the Broncos. Actually, both Myavas were both scoring a double, both My and Ewan. So if the Knights can get the Myavas firing once more tonight, it's going to be a very painful night here for the Rabbitohs.
Absolutely, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that they were the only two Myavas to be on the score sheets. But we'll leave that. Don't want to open any bruises. As Ryan Wilmot runs into a strong tackle of My and Cam Smith as he makes a return 30 metres out from their own try line. It seems to be so far we're settling into a nice defensive grind set here, which is exactly what we were expecting leading into this game, AMAC. I guess, where do you see this game, breaking open?
Well, at the minute, it looks like both teams are trying to penetrate up the middle, which I don't think is the right idea. Both the Knights and the Rabbitohs have very strong forward packs, and if they're just going to beat themselves tireless against each other all night, that's not going to work. They really need to work up the edges, and I think a couple of betters out there at the moment definitely want some wingers to score up the edges there, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. And both wingers from both sides, they're all really good players. We've seen them have their good moments here. But someone that really needs to step up tonight is Yohan Mayava. I've threatened to actually change his name back to Iron Mayava if he does not perform like he did last week. So stay tuned, SRL. We might actually have a name change next week. As the camera is being a little bit weird. We're getting a bit of a bird's eye view. This is what we're seeing from the commentary box. But referee's called last tackle, but I don't know if our graphics people up in the box have realised it was. But we kick it across field. It finds some space there, but South Sydney, they're going to be on the attack here. They're going to start just 5 metres shy of halfway here.
Yep, this is probably so far what we're up to 28 minutes already. The best chance that the Rabbitohs have had all night so far. The Knights, they have been a defensive masterclass so far. So, well, it looks like that's not really going to change. The Rabbitohs, they're going to need a really good push here if they want to make it down to anywhere near attacking kick position.
Absolutely. 4 tackles gone, 30 metres in from their try line here. It's a good position to be, but unfortunately, it looks like they're just going to get wrapped up shy here and out of range for any sort of attacking kick. We've seen it over the last week that the attacking grubber from about 20 metres out has been the play. I don't know if that comes into effect tonight. We'll find out. But Dream Hodgkinson, he's driven back towards the try line. Not a good way to start the set here as Newcastle trying to make their way out of trouble. Bit of a draw pass and, oh, geez. Realmy gets, actually it's My gets flattened and coughs the ball up just 10 metres out from the try line. This is going to be some alarm bells ringing. Newcastle's defence really needs to step up here.
Oh, there we go. Butterfield's over. The defence, they just got too tired there, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen this bit of a common factor, especially in the red zone. Newcastle's defense, they tend to get one-on-one, and not many people can stop a man like Josh Butterfield one-on-one from that close. A bit unfortunate for those Newcastle fans and I guess myself. But we'll see how the game turns out as Wilmot gets an opportunity to extend the lead in the Hunter.
And again, this is exactly what we've been seeing with quite a few games. It's one hell of a grueling arm wrestle. And most points this round have been scored off opposition errors or a team forcing a mistake, just like that massive hit on My there. So again, we're only 15 minutes into the game. Newcastle, they are not a slouchy team at all. So if they can force a good defensive set here, then, well, who knows? Steel City might find a little bit more steel in their veins.
Absolutely, and I guess the people that I'm looking for to stand up from my guys is Ayrton Indurain. He has been electric out of that number 8 position. I think he's got a couple big hits in him to hopefully turn us around. But Corey Bell with a bit of a dummy half dash. He makes quite a few meters there, and he's looking to push on from that set South Sydney just finished with. As we get a bit of a long ball inside-outside back to Wilmot. Wilmot puts the steps on but can't get around. That is the number 10. That'll be Tatera Maxwell. Both prop forwards rotations have been really good so far for the season. So on South Sydney, you got Josh Butterfield and Tanvir Papapopoulos. They've been pretty good from what I've seen so far, AMAC.
Yeah, Tanvir particularly, he's fairly new to the SRL community, and he has just come in and made a name for himself there at number 10 tonight he is. So it's good to see some of the new blood coming in and showing some of the old guys exactly how to work their magic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see kind of the reset that SRL 2.0 bring across, because we've got some names that you wouldn't have imagined or you wouldn't even know from SRL 1.0 that have made their surgence in SRL 2.0. So it's good for the game here. As we see Newcastle, 4 tackles gone. They seem to be just trying to motor it up the middle, but they're just getting driven back. We've only just gotten over 25 meters from the try line, so we're going to be kicking out of trouble here. Ball goes to Relmy. Relmy kicks the ball from the 20. Decent kick, makes some decent meters, but it goes straight into the breadbasket of Meki Freeburn. He'll get driven back by Myava, that is, just shy of the 40-meter line.
Yeah, that was a really good kick chase there from the Knights.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. There we go. There's your boy standing up for you there, Josh.
Yeah, look, it's a good day when Ryan Wilmot gets flattened. I mean, look, it was a bit of a flat pass, I'll say. I won't start throwing accusations to the referees just yet, but good to see some poetic justice in the rugby league world as Kev Dixon now, strong charging run up to the 40-meter line, heading back towards the middle of the field now. Coleman out to Huxley, the number 7. Yep, number 7. I know my numbers. But we see 5 tackles now. They haven't made as many meters as they did in the last couple sets here, but they're going to kick from the 30. Still good attacking defense. Attacking defense, that's not it. Well, that is some attacking defense as they drive Ewan Myava back into the in-goal, and they'll be receiving another set.
Yeah, that was some very weird positioning there from Ewan. He was way back in his dead ball goal.
Oh,
okay.
no.
Well, the Ewan, I think there is just thanking his lucky stars because a little bit of a misread has turned into some excellent field position here for the Knights.
Absolutely. As I don't even know what to call that. I don't know what I just did there, but please never do that again. Ralsei Plush will get it out of dummy half, and she'll do the same thing. Taking advantage of, I believe, offside markers, or not square markers, sorry. 3 tackles gone, we're just over 40 meters. Closing in on the attacking line here, on the try line, sorry. A couple offloads back to Ralsei Plush. 4 tackles were gone. Newcastle seem to be going backwards rather than forwards, but my, she's going to get driven backwards again, playing the ball for the same spot again. Last tackle gone. About 34 meters out, we're going to be kicking down to the left side. That is the left side. Kicking down to the left side, it's going to hit the ground. Meki Freeburn is going to get driven back by Ewan Myava. So that's 2 kicks in a row from either side that's hit the ground here and had some funky readings from the defensive line.
Yeah, all you can really think is that the intensity of the game out there is causing some heavy fatigue right now at the moment. You can see that both from the dummy halves who are trying to relieve some of that pressure from their forwards, just doing a little dart here and there. But even those wingers, they're not boys who are used to running a lot. And, well, when you're making these many tackles, that really drains the stamina.
Absolutely. 4th tackle, early kick down the middle. Mai's out of position, but she does make it back there eventually. Interesting choice from South Sydney. I think they were on the front foot there, but they've chosen the early kick. You would have seen in the bottom side of your corner, the bottom side of your screen there, the 20-minute prop interchanges have made their way onto the field here. So I'll be seeing from the Knights, Isaiah Latu and Pancake Gamer enter the fray, and Mike Tyson and Dylan Sharp entering the fray for South Sydney. So we'll see if they make a big impact for either team, as Newcastle looking to just cross over halfway on tackle 4. 2 pass out to Otis Keens. Keens trying to push through. Strong tackle from 2 defenders there. Last tackle now. About 45 meters out from the try line. Big punt down to the right side of Luka Magic, and he'll make the return there. Tries to step around, I believe that's Mai in the cover defense there, but can't get around Otis Keens.
Yeah, again, a good set there from the Knights, and they made some good meters, but the defensive pressure here from the Rabbitohs is really telling. And when Corey Bell's making little darts out of dummy half like that, taking advantage of some tired markers, that's really the only way that the Rabbitohs are making their way up the field at the moment.
Absolutely. As we see another early kick attempt, that is not a good one. That's going to invite Newcastle well into their half. They're going to get 6 tackles in their own half of football, in their own half, as the inside ball back to Cameron Hodgson. Hodgson's going to try and barge it up the field, but he does get taken down on the 40-meter line. Heading out left, flat ball out to Otis Keens. Keens is going to get driven back for the troubles there. 3 tackles gone. As you said before, AMAC South Sydney's defense seemed to be holding on strong. Newcastle seem to be favouring that inside ball. 4 tackles gone, 30 metres out. Going to need a big run here, trying to get some more metres. Pancake Gamer gets his first touch of the game. He gets driven down. We're about 25 metres out. We'll probably look to be going for a big bomb kick. And that's exactly what we do, heading to the left side of the field. Dylan Murray does come down with it. But Newcastle, they'll wrap him up on the 10-metre line.
Yep. And this is a good chance now for the Knights to pin the Rabbitohs down here in their goal because, well, when you've got defense like that where you're only making 20 meters a set, you've got to really win the field position based off your defense. What they can't do, however, that was almost called as a 6 again, so they can't let their discipline fail them here because, well, having said that, it looks like the Rabbitohs, they're shaping up for a 20-40 attempt here.
So I say 4 tackles gone, I'd be going for it too. And they dropped it into the pocket of Dion Coleman and he rockets it away. Mai's making her way over. That could have been very bad. But Mai with the safe hands there off the bounce. Newcastle looking to get over halfway. Good way to start the set. Crossing over halfway on tackle 1. And oh my goodness. Cameron Smith has been rocked by Mike Tyson, I believe that is. Not a man you want to be rocked by, but Ewan Mayava, not Iron, makes a break. Gets to about the 30-metre line, gets wrapped down. 3 tackles gone, heading back towards the middle of the field. Cameron Hodgson now. Looks like both sides are starting to fray a little bit from their fitness levels. As we know, SRL is not a very fit place at the moment. Stamina seems to be an issue all across the park. As Pancake Gamer, last tackle, that's a good tackle. Newcastle are into some defensive attacking territory here. 2 pass. We're going to go for the bomb kick. Pretzel with the bomb over to the left side of the field. We see Dylan Murray come down with it again. It looked like Otis Keanes went up for it, but just must have mistimed their jump there.
Yeah, well, that was a much better attacking set there from the Knights. They made almost 50 meters in that set, which is probably the best effort they've had all night. With 10 minutes left on the clock, though, they might want to try to push and throw the ball around a little bit more because going into the halftime break, 6-0, it's not the worst thing, but it's definitely not something you want happening.
Absolutely. As we see the South Sydney going to go for another 40-20 attempt. Oh no, it was just more of a clearance kick on tackle 4 as Mai gets driven back 30 metres out from the line. We're going to start our set here. 9 minutes left of the game. It's been a very defensive game so far. Both teams can't really seem to get firing except for that error that Newcastle coughed up and gave South Sydney the first try of the game. But Cameron Hodgson now is going to try and right the ship and get us going up the middle. 4 tackles gone. We're just shy of the halfway line now. Newcastle, 3 tackles, going to head down the blind side. Ewan Mayava gets the steps on Meki Freeburn, but is brought down by Meki and Dion Coleman. 4 tackles gone. Rousey's going to get it out to Relmy. Relmy's going to go for a bit of a dart himself. Breaks the tackle of Mike Tyson. Breaks another tackle. Goes to throw a dummy, but Mike Tyson does get arms on him. Last tackle here. Bit of a slow play of the ball. We see an absolute stinker of a play there, but Mai does recover. Bit of a spin play, but gets brought down about 30 metres out from the try line. Not a very good attacking set, but I believe it might have been saved a little bit in that last play.
Yeah, saved both by Relmy with his little, barnstorming run there where he shrugged off about 2 teams worth of Rabbitohs there. But also by Mai with a quick thinking, grabbing that loose ball and doing a little bit of a pirouette. You can tell the frustration is coming here for both teams, really, because the Knights, they need to get down the other end and score, but the Rabbitohs, they're not really having any attacking luck either. So there's going to be some big talks at halftime from both coaches, I feel, in terms of how to get the upper hand and surgence in this game.
Yeah, I think South City a bit unlucky there not to get a 6 again. That ball looked like it was helped out. A bit of an odd trajectory as it came out, but nevertheless, last tackle, 30 metres out. We've got about 5.5 minutes left to play behind Newcastle get the ball. Look, I'm rooting for a Newcastle try, but this has been a good game so far from both sides. We like a nice defensive game, but we see now Newcastle trying to make their way up the field. Cameron Hodgson, we've called his name quite a bit tonight. I would love to see his stats at halftime. I think he's been doing quite a bit of running here. But Isaiah Latu, pass out to Joey June. Joey coming up the middle now. 30 metres out from their own try line. Tackle 3. Isaiah Latu bumps off. I cannot see who that is. But that is a big tackle. As we see 4 tackles gone now. Out to the left. Joey June takes another run. Newcastle, they're going to shape up for a 40-20 here because they've not made too many metres here. As you see Pretzel in the pocket. Big kick. It's got the angle, but not enough legs on it. Luca Magic's going to pick it up and get past one. Mai's going to be there to stop the potential breakaway try before half-time.
What's really telling is that the Knights, they've stopped kicking it out to Freeburn. They're starting to pepper the other side, and that's probably the right move, but it does give the left-hand side of the Rabbits a bit of time to recover. You'll also notice that the Rabbitohs, they really haven't been attacking down this right side at all. They've left the wing of Hodgkinson basically attackless. So I don't know why they keep kicking it to Ewan, but they must have been doing some research, and they think that's where they need to go.
Yeah, you'd think after the game he had last week, he'd be avoiding Ewan, but I guess they know something I don't. But as we say that, they do kick to the opposite wing of Hodgkinson, and he gets a bit of open space. He gets past one. Ryan Wilmot there in defense. I've noticed so far this season, the fullbacks, almost all of them have been absolutely rock in defense. And it's a little bit frustrating when you're on the other side of them. As Pretzel takes a bit of a half-back run there. 2 tackles gone. Newcastle heading back in the middle of the field there. Bit of a wayward pass goes to Latu. Latu's going to cross the 40 here. About a minute and a half left to play before half-time. Hodgson gets it out to Mariora. Mariora's back on the... I know he wasn't swapped out. Relmi now. He'll get the ball. 4 tackles. As we see out to Ciro Maxwell. Our prop rotations have reverted before half-time. We'll have last tackle here. I'll get him off, ref. Last tackle gone. We'll look to be kicking down to the corners here. Not much time left on the clock at all. Relmi is going to kick it down to the wing. The right side wing, and that's Luca Magic receiving the ball. He gets past one again. But Luca Magic is wrapped up by, I believe that's Pretzel and Mai making the tackle.
Yeah, with 30 seconds left, you don't think that the Rabbitohs will be able to get up the other end. This second half is going to be pivotal for both of these teams because when you are defending this much and defending this hard, well, injuries come.
Absolutely. As the siren goes here at McDonald Jones Stadium, Relmi is going to wrap up Butterfield and take us into the halftime break. We will see you after the break.
Hello, NRL Hotel. How can I help?
Yeah, g'day. I'd like to organise an early checkout, please.
How does the 60-minute mark of the grand final sound?
Perfect.
But I booked a final spot in round 10.
So it looks like that was cancelled in round 13. So if you could just move aside, though, we've got some genuine top 8 teams about to check in. There you go.
What?
All the best.
Really?
Penthouse.
Oh, you have got to be joking.
Going up the was?
Nah, down.
Yo!
So we've had some complaints. Is there any chance you can wrap this party up soon?
Yeah, sure. Just give us another couple of seasons, all right?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Is that all you're going to do to stop them?
Better than you managed.
Yes, rooms. Yeah, send up another 5 utility players, please.
Right away, sir. And shall I send up some more Panthers?
Ooh, sounds delish.
Any baggage, sir?
Yeah, heaps.
Try 38 years worth.
Jeez Louise.
Can I help you?
Yeah, actually, got any wins against top 8 teams in here somewhere?
No, just have towels.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Hey SRL fans, want to support the league further? Join the Simulation Rugby League Patreon. Get exclusive access to additional content, early access to league releases and supporter-only giveaways and upgrades. Whatever you're looking for, we have something for every fan. When you become a Patreon, you're more than just a spectator. You're a crucial part of our team. Your support helps us keep delivering the high-quality matches and content that you love, and it ensures that we can keep the SRL experience growing for fans of all ages. It's super simple. Head to our Patreon page, pick the tier that's right for you, and you're in. Every bit of support helps us grow and makes the SRL an even better place for everyone. Now, back to the game.
And welcome back to McDonald Jones Stadium in the Hunter for your second half of your Thursday night SRL clash here. South Sydney, as you can see, leading Newcastle Knights 6-0 into the break here. We took a bit of a look at the stats here, AMAC, and I guess everything's kind of as you'd expect, bar a couple of little bits and pieces. Did you want to run us through those?
Yeah, halftime stats, they were pretty telling. Oh, an unwelcome penalty very early here in the half. Possession stats, they were pretty much equal. Both teams almost perfect 100% completion, only dropping one error each for 12 out of 13 there for the Knights and 13 out of 14 for the Rabbitohs. Tackling, though, this has been one hell of a defensive game. There's only one player out there on the field who's earned above 100 run meters. Everyone else is struggling because they are tackling way too damn much, Josh.
Absolutely. I mean, I think when we looked at the break there, no one had ran for more than 500 meters in terms of the team. South Sydney were just over 500 and Newcastle were not even over 400 run meters total. But the total tackling, both sides were almost over 100 tackles as a team. So big defensive set in, but Newcastle there, wayward pass, and that goes right to the arms of Coleman. Not a good pass there at all. I'm not sure what happened there, but it did not look natural.
No, we saw some very, very tired people at that halftime break, and whilst most of the more tired ones have found themselves off the field for a well-earned rest, it looks like fatigue is still going to be an issue, and we've still got 37 minutes left to play tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems to be something that's been in the water lately. We've noticed that stamina or fitness has been changed. It's not as replenishable as it used to be, not as robust as it used to be. But we see South Sydney here trying to pick up where they left off. We're about 20 metres out. They're going to have an attacking kick here. They're going to look for the grubber. That's a mighty good grubber. But Mai there does clean up, and she will play the ball just in the field of play. Newcastle, they're going to want to try and crack on pretty quickly, especially for my SRL bets. I do need 19 plus from my boys. But we'll continue on. Mai tries to get us out of trouble. We're about 20 odd meters out here. 3 tackles gone. Newcastle seems like they can't quite break that defensive line like they couldn't in the first half. But Ayrton now, 5 tackles gone. So it was last tackle, the referee said. But Rousey Plush is going to just run it up. No, that's last tackle now. I think the referee is a bit confused, or maybe I am. But not a good tackle. But Dylan Sharp's going to get the ball. We're about 35 meters out from the try line.
Yeah, about the only thing right now that is saving either of these teams are their defensive efforts, because some of those errors, they're coming off the back of pure frustration, I imagine. And now the Rabbitohs, they're trying to force their way up, but they've only made 10 meters in 3 tackles. So as much as the Rabbitohs can bring in this defensive sledgehammer, the Knights, they're no slouches themselves.
Absolutely, and that's kind of what we've seen so far. South Sydney there, bit of a step on from Luca Magic, but we're going to be last tackle, and they're going to be in some dangerous position. It's going to be an attacking grubber kick. I would almost put all my money on that, and that's exactly what we get. But Rousey Plus, sorry, wrong midget on my team, picks up the ball and makes a couple meters. I was not very confident with that grubber. It looked way too good, but as we see Junior Kamle Aloha on the field, he will make a good break. And get us out of trouble. But Rousey Plus, it looks like the number 9s are having a bit of a field day today, getting out of their little pocket. But we see a bit of a flat ball. Hodgkinson running up the line. That is going to bring Ryan Wilmot out of the fullback position. No one at home. Good time for a 40-20 attempt. And it's exactly what we do, but not a good angle or really a good spot to kick it from. That was a big kick for any type of kicker to try and get a 40-20 crossfield.
And not just crossfield, but if it had gone out, it would have been going out between the 20 and the 10. Oh, there we go. Here is the Knights. That's exactly what they needed, and now they are in a perfect position here, just like the Rabbitohs were at the first half.
Absolutely, and it was Isaiah Latu, I believe, that went bang. They're coming on for Tihai Mariora, but look, great way to start the half, especially if you're a Steel City fan. But Ayrton now, he gets wrapped up 10 meters out. Newcastle in some good position. Isaiah Latu, he'll try and barge up the middle. 3 tackles gone. He gets put on his back. Newcastle got options, got left, right. We're going to go left to Terry Maxwell now. Terry Maxwell, he's get one-on-1. He's going to score the try here. He's going to give Newcastle an opportunity to go 6-all with about 34 minutes left to play. He gets one-on-one with Dylan Sharp, that is, and no one in defense covering him there. And unfortunately, that's going to happen every day of the week.
Yeah, and that's some really smart heads-up play there from the from the Knights. They knew exactly where they were on the field. They knew that the opposition middles were absolutely exhausted, and they just kept peppering them up the middle with their forwards. And all it took was Bim, the big boy in the number 10, to just barge his way over, and we're back to a 0-point game with 30 minutes left on the clock.
Absolutely. As you see, the captain Pretzel there giving it to the crowd, getting them pumped up. We've got 30 minutes left and we're level. This is definitely going to be a good clash. Defense is going to be key, as it has been so far. Those slight errors and mishandles are going to be proving costly. But we see here now, Kamialoha, he'll return the ball. We'll get up towards the 20-meter line. We'll make that about 23 meters. 3 defenders needed to take him down here. But we'll go back to the middle of the field. 2 passes, hit off the ball, but Isaiah Latu cleans up the scraps. Not many more of those are going to want to be made, otherwise we might see a change of scoreline again. But Isaiah Latu, he'll get wrapped up just over 30 meters. Rowsy Plush gets out of dummy half, gets past 2, nearly gets past the cover defense of Ted McDonald, but Ted McDonald holding on strong. 3 tackles gone. Pretzel with a dummy pass, runs straight into the arms of Ted McDonald and Dylan Sharp. 4 tackles gone now. Newcastle, not a good last couple tackles there. They did seem to waste about 3 tackles. But last tackle now, Newcastle just over halfway. I'd imagine they'd look to kick to a corner and try and pin South Sydney down. Yeah, AMAC.
Well, they definitely kicked to a corner. It's just that the big hands of Dylan Sharp got in the way. Ooh, here we go. We got some good ball playing here from Wilmot. Throwing the ball around. That last try really must have rattled the Rabbitohs, because they were expecting the Knights to just roll over and let them win, and suddenly here we are, 0-0, and they've got to start playing a bit more footy.
Yeah, absolutely. Newcastle a bit soft there to let that in, but we are going to have an opportunity to obviously lock out the Rabbitohs here, stop them from scoring. Last tackle, 10 meters out. I'd imagine we'd be looking to another grubber kick. They've been dangerous all week. We've seen some insane grubber kicks. But instead, we're going to go from the bomb. Bit of an interesting opportunity considering the advantage the grubber kick has. But Dylan Murray is going to come down with it very well uncontested. And Newcastle are going to change hands of possession about 5 meters out from the try line.
Yeah, I think that was probably the best move there from the Knights. They were able to lock the Rabbitohs down despite that error in kick earlier. And now they're working their way back up the field. In about 6 minutes, we're going to have some prop interchanges and some fresh legs back on the field. Some quick legs, I should say, as well. So that might really open up the game in those final quarters there.
Absolutely. As we see Rowsy Plush with yet another dummy half dash here. Newcastle are going to go for the 40-20, but it's not going to have the legs. It's going to go just down towards the 40-20 zone, but just doesn't have the legs to kick on. Ryan Wilmot's going to get wrapped up in a 2-man tackle by Pretzel, and that'll be Bailey Munro-Johns. But we're going to get a long pass. Oh, it could have nearly been an interception, but Relmy just got out of the way and didn't quite make it in time. But we see South Sydney now getting over the 30-meter line with 3 tackles. This will be 3rd tackle now. So far, South Sydney look to be trying to, I believe, steady the game is what it looks like they're trying to do. But Newcastle, they seem to be holding on with them. Dylan Sharp gets tackled for last. South Sydney going to run it on. I'm not tripping. No, referee called last tackle there, right? Anyway,
yeah,
this will be last tackle.
It looks like you found another glitch there, Josh.
I wouldn't say glitch. I'd say more of referees calling last tackle again. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've definitely done that in my refereeing career. We'll get the referees in chat to see if they've done it too. But Tiro Maxwell, he'll run it up over the 20-meter line for tackle 2. Newcastle, they're doing really well to stay out of defensive trouble here. Both teams seem to be playing it within the 10s. We're not getting too much further than that. But Rowsy Plush now, she'll try and get out of dummy half. She'll pinch a few meters there. It does take a bit of stopping to get her down. 4 tackles. Newcastle, 40-20 attempt again, and I'm taking kicking license away from me. That has not been some good kicks tonight. As Ryan Wilmot, 40 meters out. We're going to get the ball out to the half of Huxley Van, where did the name go? Sorry. Put my glasses back on it to be nice. As Ted McDonald now, he tries to get one-on-one with Mai, but Mai wraps him up, all in all tackle there. 3rd tackle gone. We're going to head back towards the middle of the field. 2 passes, Dylan Sharp to Butterfield. Butterfield, he's going to run into the arms of Isaiah Latu, and Latu is going to bring him down. Tackle 4. Bit of an interesting pass, but Ryan Wilmot's going to get held upright. Just the man you want to take tackle for. Take him out of last tackle options. But Relmy's going to get... He's going to get out of the... Oh, that is a fantastic effort from Alex Relmy to get out of his own in-goal. As Ayrton Indurain now, he will get us over the 10-metre line. Newcastle with some fiery runs to try and get themselves out of trouble here. But the job's not done yet, as we see a 2-passer out to Hodgkinson. And Jareem, he'll get pushed back. 3 tackles gone. Newcastle, they're going to need to potentially kick for a 40-20 or a 20-40 even, but that's going to be out of the option now. Maybe. As it's tackle 4. Do not pass it to Pretzel. Keep that. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Take me out. Take me out. Sorry. Non-biased commentator here. Joshua Lowe with a fantastic run to keep that in the field of play. But Wilmot now, he makes, that is Junior Kami Aloha dive for, I don't know what. But Ted McDonald, bit of a dummy half dart, I believe that was. But 3 tackles have already gone. So Newcastle, they seem to be firming up in defense. As Jai Cologne, is he back on at the prop rotation, AMAC?
Yeah, he should be right now. So yeah, the Rabbitohs, they're the first to benefit there from some fresh legs on the field. And that's a bit of a gift there for the Knights. But the last 2 kicks from the Rabbitohs, they've just been a little bit too long in the tooth and just not weighted well enough. So we'll see what the Knights can do with this 7-tackle set.
Absolutely. It looks like he was well committed to the grubber kick and didn't have an opportunity to pull out of it there because he needed to just put the ball down. It was over the try line and he's kicked it dead. So that's something that, who knows, in 17 minutes' time may come back to haunt South Sydney. I'm certainly hoping so. But anyway, inside thoughts, we'll leave those there. Isaiah Latu, up over 40 metres. 3 tackles gone from Newcastle. Newcastle trying to get over halfway. It's been a while since they've been across into South Sydney territory. It seems like we've been pretty camped in the half. 4 tackles gone, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Inside-outside play. My doesn't quite run onto the ball there. So actually, no, we are not going to get over halfway. As we see, the ball goes out to Pretzel. Interesting.
Well, that one we can at least blame on the defender straight in front of the kicker there. So that one's not completely on Pretzel, but with 6 minutes left until we start entering field goal territory, the Knights, they were definitely going to want to move some of this field position battle up the other end because I don't know, but there's a couple of kickers on the Rabbitohs who are starting to lick their lips very, very expectantly.
Absolutely. And yeah, you're right. I think we're looking at maybe 7-8 minutes is starting to get to field goal territory. So we see a big crossfield bomb. We're going to have Mekhi Freeburn come down with the ball, but he is going to get wrapped up for last tackle. So Newcastle, they'll be given the ball about 15 metres out from their own line. They've got a long way to work upfield and not a lot of time to do so. We've only got a couple of sets left before we're potentially looking at field goal plays, but we'll see what happens as Ayrton Indurain, he'll get us up to the 30-metre line. This seems to be a bit more of a promising set from Newcastle. They seem to be doing a lot better shifting the ball around, and Otis Keynes comes back on in the prop position as you see there, taking a bit of a hit up, making some meters there as well. Good to see some fast legs in both teams forwards there, as you mentioned a bit earlier. Bailey Munro-Johns is going to fall over about 45 metres out from the try line. Pretzel takes a run. He should have just took the run there, so he's out of last play options. But we see Newcastle now about 35 metres out. This is the best field position they've had all game. They need to kick to a corner and they need to pin the Rabbitohs down, and that is not what happens again. Pretzel really needs to be focusing on the kicking training, as that is another not a very good kick. But Joshua Lowe now, he'll reap the rewards and get up over halfway.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening out there tonight for Pretzel. He must have one hell of a hex on him. The Rabbitohs, they must have some sort of voodoo doll out there working against him, but they're still being able to keep the Rabbitohs out. So if they can keep them out from an attacking kick here, which it looks like they're able to, the Rabbitohs will be forced to boot it down, and the wingers, they can start getting to work here.
Absolutely, as that's a bit of an interesting, very interesting, as they're going to lose meters on that play. Play's not over yet. they're going to lose meters on that play. Newcastle are going to start their set about 43 meters out from their own line. So maybe all's not bad. Ewan Mayava now. He'll get us over halfway on tackle 1. Cameron Smith now takes a bit of a run up the middle of the field, trying to get through the line there. 40 meters out from the try line. Newcastle trying to work their way down. 2 passes out to Ewan Mayava. Spin move, but does get wrapped up in a very good tackle from, I believe that is Dion Coleman, defending on the wing. Deep pass to Cameron Smith now. Smith, he'll make one dive for air, but 30 meters out from line. 4 tackles gone. Newcastle need a big run here. And a big run is that's what they'll get. I'm happy that's a big run there. 20 meters out, they'd be looking for a big bomb kick. Realmy gets it out to Ayrton Indurain. Indurain puts the bomb up. Maybe he needs the kicking boots because that was a much better kick. Otis Keens comes down with it about 11 meters out from the try line.
That was a much, much better set there from the Knights. They were helped out there by a bit of a dodgy kick there from the Rabbitohs, but they knew exactly what they needed to do. Slowly push themselves up the field, camp down here with the Rabbitohs. Second tackle, they're only at the 30, so if they can keep going with this defensive pressure, they will be in a good position at the end of the next set, I would think.
Absolutely. Only worrying thing you need to worry about is the potential 40-20, which now becomes no longer... It is still an option. 4 tackles gone, and they're going to go for it. That looks like a good kick off the boot, and Mai is still up. Don't just let it go. Oh, jeez.
Oh. Well, that's just unsportsmanlike there from the Rabbitohs, just to watch that happen and to push a lady off over the sideline like that is just not very nice. So the Rabbitohs, they might actually be too close to the sticks to really do anything with it. So you never know if the Knights can hold on. If they can get around this guy. No, they can't. Ted McDonald is over, and the Rabbitohs, they are back in the lead.
Yeah, Ted McDonald, great run there. One-on-one with Mayava. Look, any forward gets a battle one-on-one with a fullback, and they're just licking their lips there. That's a win almost every day of the week. I don't think I've seen a single fullback able to stop a forward from that close distance, as Wilmot now has an opportunity to extend their lead by a further 6 points.
Yep, and that already, at least for the moment, puts out of context the 1-point field goals and some of that frantic field position play from that sort of thing. There is still 7.5 minutes left, so with how tired both of these teams are, errors very likely to occur in the next 7 minutes or so. The question, however, is can the Knights pounce if the Rabbitohs let them back into the game?
Do you want the SRL commentator one or the biased captain? I can give you both. Absolutely, Newcastle can get their way back into the game, but from the SRL commentator standpoint, it's going to be very, very difficult. It's taken us nearly 40 minutes to get a try in the second half. I don't know if 7 minutes is going to be long enough to get another try. But hey, strange things have happened. This is the SRL, and that's not a good way to get started. 3 tackles gone, and they've just let him over the halfway line. Ted McDonald has had a good last 5 minutes here. As South Sydney look to try and push the score out to pasture there and secure their spot in the top 4 so far in this season. As Ryan Wilmot, he's going to be the man that gets past 1. There's Mai to beat. Luckily, we have Otis Keensing defense there. Otherwise, Ryan Wilmot would have been in for a try. But last tackle gone. They're going to look to kick. That is not a good kick at all. But Junior Kami Aloha, he's going to get the crumbs of that. Newcastle are going to get a 7 tackle set as well, as that was ruled knock-on advantage. As Newcastle, they're going to get up over the 20-meter line. About 5 minutes left to play. They're going to need some big Hail Mary plays here. If anyone is a bit familiar with American football, we're going to set up for some 4 verticals maybe, but we'll see what happens. Cameron Hodgson now looks to go back towards the middle of the field. 3 tackles gone. Newcastle not quite over halfway yet. It's a bit of a way to go here. 2 passes. Mai with a late draw pass to Ewan Mayava. Ewan Mayava gets past 1. He is going to get wrapped up by Ryan Wilmot. Wilmot seems to be the nut that no one can crack so far. The SRL captains have not been able to crack him so far, and he's been defensively sound and attackingly good so far this season. as Newcastle last tackle. They're going to look to drop it back to Ayrton Indurain. He's been doing a lot of the kicking, and so far he's been kicking really well. Newcastle are going to pin them down so far in the 10-metre line. We might get one more set depending on how things go here. Newcastle are going to need to put the defensive clamps on.
Yep, and again, they might have an opportunity. The Rabbitohs, they look quite tired out there right now, and they're starting to really utilise those outside backs because their forwards, they are limping towards the finish line. So, yeah, the Knights, they'll get one, maybe two, depending. The Rabbitohs, they might look for a kick here. Nope, just a dart out of dummy half. So, with some good return chase here from a winger or even from Mai herself, they will have possibly 6 tackles to square it up and take us into Golden Point.
As Dream Hodgkinson fields that one on the full, he can't quite get around the first line of defense. And South Sydney, they've got there about a minute and a half left, and they're slowly getting the party ready, as that was nearly an intercept. Otis Keens does well to catch that and get to ground 30 metres out from their try line. Newcastle looking to push forward. Maiava gets past one. Maiava will get over the 40. Newcastle entering yardage now. As Newcastle, they'll get the two pass from Relmi to Joey June. Back on the field now, Joey. She'll get to halfway. Not looking good for Newcastle. Last tackle approaching, and we're still 40 metres out. Newcastle here, they look to be done. They look to be out on their feet, and South Sydney have looking to have won this game here in the Hunter. As we see Relmi now, big boot out to the corner of Meki Freeburn. Freeburn, he'll run it up, about 20 seconds left. And South Sydney, barring any freaky SRL miracles, will run out your winners here.
Yeah, that's the Knights, they should hold their heads high. This has been one hell of a grueling match to finish off our round 6. Both of these teams, they came here tonight expecting a blowout one way or the other, considering how well they did last week. And to hit 12-6, which I think is SRL 2.0's record for the lowest scoring game so far. That's kind of an indication of where we are at the moment with the SRL teams and their development at the time being.
Yeah, absolutely. As we look at some stat lines here, I guess the obvious ones, South Sydney scoring more points, so they are your winners tonight. As we look at some more team-specific stats, Newcastle and South Sydney both nearly getting 200 tackles each, and only just breaking 1,000 run meters is South Sydney. So you can see definitely a defensive game here from both sides. Completions are both doing really well, 26 out of 28, 25 out of 28. Newcastle completing better, but it just wasn't enough. 48% of possession over 52, and making less errors too. This was really Newcastle's game to lose, and that is what happened. As we try and take a look at some of the match stats for Newcastle. As we'll get AMAC, we'll take you through these ones here.
Yeah, well, looking at those run meters, looking down that line, you can see how exhausting it was out there for some of those defenders. The only person on the screen at the moment making over 100 meters is Ralsei Plush. There'll probably be more as we scroll down, but when you've got your wingers only scoring about 60 run meters, about 70 odd for some of your forwards. Alex Relmi, he's only got 67. Mai is only sitting at 74. The amount of time that Mai spent chasing 40-20 kicks all the way back down the field, 17 tackles to her name as well. There's no surprise what's happened here. 23 for Hodgson, 22 for Plush, 19 there for Latu in his 42 minutes off the bench. It was a hard day out there for tonight for the Steel City boys.
Absolutely. As we take a look over at South Sydney, we'll get to the top of the list and we'll see what we've got here. But we see Corey Bell out of dummy half, 21 tackles, no missed, 126 run meters, 2 tackle busts, line bust, and a try assist to his name. So far, really great performance here from Corey Bell and South Sydney in general. But again, a bit of a similar thing here. With some of the players here not quite hitting the run meters you'd expect, like 70 run meters from Jai Collins, 40 minutes and no run meters for Finn Manning, one tackle, one missed. So not a very good half there, but we won't dwell on the poor stats. We look to highlight the good stats here, as we see Ted McDonald, 40 minutes, 106 run meters, 16 tackles, no missed, 2 tackle breaks, 2 line breaks, and a try to his name. Also another fantastic 40-minute effort. Ryan Wilmot, solid as always, 136 run meters, 9 tackles. He did miss a couple, but 2 line breaks to his name as well. Another solid performance. Luka Magic on the wing, getting just over 80 run meters, 7 tackles, no missed, and a line break. Not too often you see a winger making some decent meters and decent tackles. Dylan Murray, 21 meters ran, 9 tackles, a line break. As we see, high tackles seems to be the theme of the night here. As we see Kevin Dixon just getting over that 113 run meters there as well, 14 and 2. 24 tackles, no missed from Joshua Lowe. That's a good stint out of the second row, I believe, Joshua Lowe. Yeah, the number 12 position. Good stint from him there. 100 run meters from Huxley Van Meriton, and 16 tackles, none missed. 20 tackles for Mike Tyson in his 58 minutes. So, look, if I'm reading that right there, it seems that running-wise, both teams not really making many meters. Rabbitohs making a bit more there, but everyone is just tackling a lot more. Is that a common theme to come in future SRL games, Mac?
Yeah, I think it is. And looking forward to the next couple of weeks, the teams are going to have to start talking about focusing on fitness and tackling a fair bit more if this is the way things are going. So, well, Newcastle, they've got the Bulldogs Monday night. And the Bulldogs, well, they're coming off their first win of the season, so they're going to be rip-roaring and ready to go. The Rabbitohs, they're coming up against the Raiders, who have just come off a really tight defensive game like they've had tonight. So that's also going to be a really tough matchup. Both of those on Monday, so that's going to be a really quick turnaround for both of these teams, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, that's the way the SRL works. Sometimes you get long turnarounds, sometimes you get short turnarounds. But we'll leave that there for your Thursday night clash here on SRL TV. I've been Josh Pretzel, joined in the box with the voice of the SRL, Anthony A. McDonald. Have a good night.